Race number 5 at Ascot. It's over the 1100 metres, a 72 plus event, and we've got some class in this one. Marker Gigante in really good form, as is Fly Tego. King River always there about. Furious Dames racing nicely, and David Harrison's got a pair of runners in here as well.
Yes, this is a really nice race, Adam, and we'll have a look at the replay horse here. Where's the Cerise and White? King River, William Pike, and Grant and Alana Williams.
Well back, Hot Goods led Furious Dame, who laid down the gauntlet a length and a half. Benito at the 200. Furious Dame hit the front from Benito. Audience runs on. It's Furious Dame on the outside. Benito, Audience, and now Kenosha coming. Benito hit the front from Audience. King River through along the rail 8, but Benito wins.
Really strong performance here by King River. I thought it was probably the best run of the day when you go back and take a look at all the form lines. I didn't have it on top for this run. I keep saying that the 1,000 metres is just too short for this galloper. I don't care how good it is. It needs 1100 plus. It was a day where you didn't run on, and it was weaving through traffic late. I thought Pikey gave every possible chance late, cutting back at the inside, trying to get over these runners. But as I said, there was just too many things that didn't suit. Now you go back to the 1100 metres. You have speed in the race as well, with the likes of a Furious Dame and these rolling forward. I think William Pike can just sit there conservatively and we'll go straight past them. I think it's one of the better bets of the day.
I'm keen on number 4 here, Kenosha. I just think it maps quite well for her. You got the likes of Delicate Miss, Furious Dame, and even Gigante with the claim and the heavyweight should go forward from there. I see Kenosha just sitting off them and being closer in the run than King River, so I think it'll get every possible chance here as long as a tiring Delicate Miss or something doesn't fall back in its face. I think it's ready to show its best after running 3 okay races this time in. Adam, what are your thoughts?
Drawn perfectly in barrier 2. I think that's the biggest positive here. But the question mark for mine, you only have to go back even 2 starts ago, was beaten 5 lengths by Gigante. He gets a 3 kilo swing here, but is that enough to turn those 5 lengths around? I think you're right that the speed is going to suit. Should be able to box seat really here and just sit behind the leaders and get a lovely run throughout. Definitely has a class, but still a couple of question marks.
Adam, your selections?
I'm going to go with number 5, King River. As I said, I think it's the best of the day. From 6, Furious Dame, 8, Delicate Miss, and 1, Gigante.
As previously stated, I'm going with the 4, Kenosha, ahead of the 5, King River. Number 8, Delicate Miss, and the 6, Furious Dame.
Race number 6 at Ascot, and it is the big one. The Group 2 Baroa Lastia Stakes over the 1400 metres. Mark, none of these horses need an introduction.
Oh, Adam, this is a crack field of gallopers. Group 2, Wait for Age affair. We say it every time, Wait for Age racing at its best. Let's have a look at the Northerly Stakes last start and Lighten in My Veins, winning that affair.
Home over Lion Cruiserelli's grey. Here comes Jazz Para down the outside. No run for Card Knight. At the 200, he draws the whip on Andrini, but Jazz Para quickly claimed it. Jazz Para dashes straight past Andrini and Card Knight. This is going to be a fine first up win. Jazz Para too good for Card.
What a performance it was by Lighten in My Veins. Not only the run on track, but what it meant to all the connections and the special day that it was as well. This horse has just improved dramatically, and you continue to speak to Fred and also Stephen Parnham, and they just keep saying as well that it's got so much more improvement to go. It's hard to forget this horse has only ever had 7 career starts. So coming up against horses that are much more educated, experienced, and match fit as well. But this guy's just got so much excitement around him. I thought it was a really good performance. I do think there's a couple of queries for this. The first one has to be barrier 1. He likes to get out in the open and really just get a nice run on. Now, if he gets cramped there, that's going to cause a couple of issues. The second is that I thought Disposition and Perfect Reflection were finishing off better. Now, Disposition goes at the same weights, but Perfect Reflection gets 2 kilos on Disposition and Lighten in My Veins as well. I think that's enough to turn the tables.
Yeah, that Wait for Age scale certainly favours the mares indeed. And you mentioned Lighten in My Veins, Fred Kersley. It is an issue for him. He has said that getting up the inside isn't ideal, but you've got to remember when it did win on debut in the Lastia Classic at Group 3 level for the 3-year-olds, it was on debut that day and he took a run between runners. So look, there is some positives there, but he's shown his all class. And Adam, this Kiwi that we've got over here at the moment, Kawi, he's a 5-time Group 1 winner in New Zealand. He's an outstanding prospect, and he's a rare mix of bulldog and class. He's an astonishing animal, and you just need to go back and check out his replays to see how good he is, Adam. His last 2 starts were both in Group 1 Wait for Age company, was 3 wide. Shouldn't have won either of them, and he won them quite impressively. Track gallop on Thursday was excellent. Hit the line very well after a long plane ride from New Plymouth, New Zealand. A lot of excitement around that horse.
Yeah, when you go through the form lines, this guy just wins. It's as simple as that, isn't it? You mentioned the runs, and you only have to take a look at the replays. I think you're right with the bulldog and class. He's got that elegance about him, but that bit of arrogance as well that you really don't want to mess with this horse. I think the small field's really going to suit as well. I think that's another benefit for it. Barrier 5 now, as I said, on form lines, goes on top. But I'm always wary of just these gallopers that do come to town, have that first run, get used to conditions. 35 degrees, that's a massive question mark of mine as well. So look, I'm not going to have it on top here, but do not be surprised if it comes out and wins by a fair bit too. But I just think you just have to be careful with the heat and the conditions. So I'm going to go with number 7, Perfect Reflection, which gets the 2 kilos on Disposition and Lighten My Veins. I'm putting Disposition in for second, Lighten My Veins for third, and then Kawi for 4.
I'm going with his 5-time Group 1 winner on top, the son of Savabeel. Kawi ahead of number 4, Lighten My Veins, 7, Perfect Reflection, and 4, Disposition.
Race number 7 at Ascot, a listed event, the Faritha Stakes for the Colts and Geldings. And Mark, I'm really looking forward to this. We saw the fillies going around midweek, and we've got some very nice types here, and I think there's one that really stands out on paper.
Yeah, the Faritha here. It's an outstanding affair for these Colts and Geldings. Adam, we'll go straight into the replay and talk about it more afterwards. Sol Special running second in the Belgravia.
Home straight, Kai Perinya reached the lead. It's Kai Perinya hitting the front. Over on the outside, Get Over It, but Kai Perinya lets down brilliantly. She led more than a length to Get Over It. They're being followed by Show
This was the
Honey
run of
back
the
behind
day
them.
when
And
you
down
look
the
through
outside,
all the
Sol
races by Sol
But
Special.
Kai
Again, it was a
Perinya's
day
going
that
to
you just couldn't
prevail.
make up
Kai
ground.
Perinya
I was so
won
bullish
the-
going into this race about Kai Perinya, and that this horse got within a length from how far back it was. I thought it was an amazing performance. We just saw on Tuesday that Kai Perinya, those form lines are really holding up. There was question marks about her stepping up to the 1400 and leading, and she was able to box on fairly to finish second. I think Sol Special is one of the best bets of the day again here. 55 kilos, barrier 6, getting out to the 1400 metres. The last time it was at this distance was beaten a half length by Whispering Brook in a Group 3 event as well. I just think everything maps out perfectly. There'll be enough speed in it from Minus Looks if they decide to cross from 12. Even Lusaha, the stablemate, should just be able to sit there, be a bit closer to the speed, attack the line strongly, and I think it'll be winning.
Can't really add too much more to that, Adam. The stablemate Lusaha is a very nice type, and Dan Morton's mentioned they've gotten to this race around the back way through some of the lower graded races, but is certainly a chance.
Yeah, really rated this horse as a 2-year-old and just never quite got there. As you mentioned, they just had to get the wins on the board to make sure they could qualify for these races, because it certainly has the class. So all reports down the track work, these two work basically side by side. So when you've got that and you look at the form lines, they don't quite mirror that. But I think Lusaha is definitely one to improve. I thought it was the best bet of the card in that 1200 metre event last start, and didn't look like that 250 metres out. What it did look like though is it wants the 1400 metres. It gets it here.
Adam, another two we'll quickly touch on. Number 7, Get Over It. This son of Saxon's all class. Second up here. First up run was good behind Kai Perinya in the Belgravia. Should have improved here for second up.
Thought it was a really good performance. It was pulling throughout, laid out as well down the straight. The bubble cheeker comes off here. This horse just settles a little bit easier. From barrier 4, I think It and Sol Special are going to be side by side, and I think it's the biggest threat to the favourite.
Number 12, Humanity, is a very interesting run of this colt by Al Maher. Went to the Bunbury Classic, the 3-year-old race, over 1,000 metres, far too short. Was still okay to the line, and then went all the way up to 1,600 metres and bolted in, was pulling at the turn. And you have a look at its closing last 600, it broke 35, which is quite impressive for a 3-year-old over a mile. It's certainly a chance here back down a 1,400 metre, rock hard fit.
Form lines are nowhere near anywhere as good as any runner here, but has to be considered. Look at the breeding, look at the horse in the flesh, and it is certainly an animal I think that's going to be winning some big races. So I'm with you. There'll be some genuine speed in this, which is going to suit. That was the issue last time. Paul Harvey almost had to pull out, and Darren McCauley's call, if you go back and watch it, he was telling him to get out because there's only so long you could hold this galloper. So from barrier 2 with genuine tempo, I think can definitely play a part in your top 4. But as I said, I think Sol Special is one of the better bets of the day. From 7, Get Over It, 9, Lusaha, and 4, Minus Looks.
Yes, same exactor as you, Adam. The 5 on top for me. Sol Special ahead of 7, Get Over It. Number 12, Humanity, and 9, Lusaha.
Final race of the day here at Ascot. It is a 66 plus event over the 1400 metres. And this is one where there's some horses in some really good form. I think Stable Secret, Antique Dream, Juwendas, they all come out of the same race. War God's been in good form. Ripper Rio and Crusoe went head to head last start as well. So I'm really intrigued to see how this does map out.
Let's have a look at the replay of number 4, War God, winning last start in a graduation race under Paul Harvey.
The back behind them to Crown Choice, but Faux Sizzle led the way at the 250 from War God, who's starting to let down now. Here comes the big fellow as Harvey draws the whip. War God levelled up to Faux Sizzle. War God a half a length, 3/4 clear, doing too well, and gets his first win at Ascot. War God came away to beat Faux.
Geez, this horse is going well, isn't it? It had the 15 career starts and never won, and now's won 4 of its past 5 and racing so well. The start that it was beaten under a length by Juwendas as well. Barrier 10, 58 kilos. This horse carries weight. It will get back. What I like with it, and Paul Harvey mentioned after the last win, he just has confidence in his animal now. He knows he can go 3 or 4 wide, and he's going to continue to to box on. This is a big step up. There is some nice types in here, but he's honest. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, speaking to Neville Parnham as well at track work on Thursday morning, he said that this horse has come back, this preparation, just a racehorse, a furnished racehorse who knows what to do. He knows to eat now and he knows how to race, and just all full steam ahead. There's no reason why he can't win this, especially the way he's been winning. Adam, another one in the market there, number 6, Ripper Rio, won another graduation race at Bunbury. That, of course, was a city meeting. That was a good win.
Yeah, it really was. This horse is just starting to click. The first up run without a trial was nice, winning by a length, but was so green down the straight. Last up, though, was just able to pick him up, and when Brad Parnham said, let's go, the turn of foot was brilliant. Barrier 2 should get a really nice run, and we've seen the Kersley-Parnham combination going along very nicely.
They're flying at the moment, aren't they, Adam? And number 1, New Time. I know the old boy, the 9-year-old, you've got a case to make for it.
I don't know how, I don't know why. Hasn't won now for 546 days, but look, it hasn't run in a grade like this since October 2012. I was trying to go down and see the last time it was out of a 72, 78 type of race, and yeah, as I said, October 2012 is a long time between runs. You only have to go back 2 and 3 starts ago. I mean, 3 starts ago is beaten 1.5 lengths by It's It. Then 2 starts ago is beaten by Heart Starter and Chocoholic. I mean, those form lines are a mile better. Last start was disappointing, beaten 5 lengths by Tradesman. But with 58 kilos in a weaker grade, on a day where I think leaders are going to be suited, I just think it might be able to steal something. You're getting $30 plus. Each way play of the day, I think you can definitely have a go there. So I'll put it on top from 6 Ripper Rio, which is definitely the biggest threat, 10 Juwendas and 3 Antique Dream.
6 on top for me, Adam. Ripper Rio ahead of number 4, War God. Number 10, Juwendas, and the 8, Settlers Creek.
Time now to turn our attention to the best bets of the card, and I'm hoping that number 5's our lucky number. Race 5, number 5, King River, and race 7, number 5, Saul Special.
Adam, I'm going the 2 black type races on the card. Race 6, number 2, Kawi, and race 7, number 5, Saul Special.
As we always do say, do follow us on social media. You can see that on screen at the moment, and perthracing.com.au for all of your event information. Plenty of good racing coming up. We're just warming up into it now, so we look forward to seeing you out at Ascot. Hopefully we found you a couple of winners throughout the card.